this video demonstration, I'm going to show you how to put together and put windows into the new stepped lantern box from John Next Door Christmas Collection 2022. And the main differences in this one from the previous lanterns that I've done is, first of all, this is a lantern box. So the lid is separate, which means it's a lot easier to put things in. This one, made by Leslie Lakin, has beautiful little gifts inside it. There's also a new arched window, which has also been designed to work with the opening window and the 6-inch seam box, so that it keeps that versatility going. And this is designed to be a little bit more elongated, as it has a strengthening bar across the bottom, which actually keeps it very, very solid when the lid is off. And then the lid pops on. The other benefit of this box is that you can cut down the height, and there's a separate video to show you how to make it, to make a shorter box or a box of any length that you want to. So I'll move the box out of the way and show you the die. The die comes with the pieces, so you get the main body and the lid piece, and you will need 2 of each of these cut. Quite simple. I don't like this idea of having to cut 16 of something. It's very simple to put together, and it only takes 3 sheets of A4 card to make the full box. And you also get the window panels, so you get a large and a smaller outside sort of rectangle to fit panels into the box, which can also be used together to give you a frame. You also get the little 2 arched pieces, which can go around to give you more of a different style of window. You have the arched window and an arched window outline, again to give you the frame. And you have a rectangular window and a rectangular panel, so that you can make a rectangular frame. So it just adds that little neatening finishing touch on. So we're going to start with the basic box cutting and construction. And the very first thing you need to do is, I'm using a piece of 300 GSM card, although I've tested this from 200 GSM up. It even works in acetate because of the strengthening bar on the bottom. So all you need to do is to place your die onto the box, onto the card, and you will cut one of those panels. And you'll actually need, for this, to cut 2 panels. So here we have 2 panels, pre-cut, identical. You don't need to make any changes or any snipping or anything. They work exactly as they are. You'll also need 2 panels for the lid. Now, with the lid section, the lid actually fits exactly onto a piece of A4 acrossways. So you will get 2 lids and some spare card from 1 piece of A4. So I'm going to bring in the lid, because I've again cut 2 lids, so that we have 2 lids prepared. And there we go. We've got 2 simple lid panels. And what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to make the folds on this. So before we do any more cutting, because I'm going to show you first of all how to put the basic box together, we're just simply going to fold each of the folds in. You don't need to emboss the die. It's quite simple. This has already been done. All the lines are there automatically for you. On the bottom, you simply fold up, and if you fold this piece over, it will automatically fold on these 2 tabs. And this is a strengthener, and to make sure that the base doesn't have to be a separate part. I was trying to attach a base into something I find very difficult. We simply fold back on the next fold line and fold the 2 tabs up. Very simple, very easy. We then turn this over, and you fold the supporting bar over that way. And now we simply need to add the tape. So with the front side showing up, I'm using power tape. You want to use power tape or a very strong red line tape to keep this together. You can use wet glue, but with wet glue you would need to peg it to hold it until it's set. So we put the blue line tape, I'm using the 3mm, onto the exposed tabs. So on the side, on the 2 sides there, on the front. We then turn this over, and we put a strip along this tab on the bottom, This is the strengthening bar. And we put a little bit of tape just, or you can use glue here, above this central curve. So very, very simple. So you'll see that will fix in, and that will just help to fix that. Doesn't matter if it pops up a little bit, we just want to fix it. If you're concerned, if you want to make sure, you just add a couple little pieces onto there. And we've got all of that done. So very, very simple. So I'm now going to take, so there is effectively my back panel done that will work together. So what we're going to do now is take a piece and put the windows in. So again, you want to take your second piece and you want to make all of the folds before you do any additional cutting. And the reason for this is if you don't make these folds first and make them quite definite, it can struggle trying to find the lines when it's been back through the machine. So just make all of your folds really simple. So all of your tabs fold in, apart from the bottom one, which folds out. And then I just open that back out. You would then choose which window you want to put in. And I'm going to put the arched window in, and I'm just going to phase this, and you'll see, you may not see this on the video, but there is a line embossed in to show you where the step sort of finishes and to make it easier. So all you want to do is to tape that down evenly onto there, nice and simply, and you simply run that through and cut it. Then you'll repeat that with the two other panels. Once you've done that, you will then have a panel just like this. We just reaffirm the folds, but you see there you have your 3 windows cut in really simply. So to strengthen this, we want to add some acetate on the back. So I'm just going to turn it over, and what I've done here is taken, again, power tape and gone across the top, across the bottom, and down each side of the window, just so that it's secured. And I find with acetate, this is a lot easier than actually using spray glue or something like that. You really want to make sure it's fixed in, and with acetate being a plastic, it needs a nice, strong adhesive. So I'm going to reveal all of the adhesive on here. I'm going to take a piece of acetate. I'm just using Kaleido acetate, so a nice, easy, heat-resistant one. And I'm simply going to put that up to one side, make sure it's stuck down, and then run it all the way along. Now, you may be tempted to cut this to size first, but what you find is acetate, it can tend to run off, so I find it a lot easier to use a sheet of A5 acetate, or just trim a piece down to 5 3/4 inches, and then to trim it out. Now see, you've got this section here. This will actually strengthen your box, so you don't need to trim that out at all. Just take it from the side. Now obviously with the acetate, the folds then can get a little difficult, so I simply take a rule, run it down the fold line, take my pokey tool and just score down there a couple of times, just to make sure that you get that nice crisp fold. So you see there, you've got a nice crisp fold as opposed to a sort of corner turn. So we're going to do exactly the same, following the line on the other piece. Just run down 2 or 3 times and fold it back. And there we have our windows popped in. Perfect. So we're now going to start to put our lantern together, and the best thing to do is to reveal all of the tape very simply. And so we have our front panel here. I could repeat this to make a 6 window, or for this one and for ease of the video, I'm going to just pop a plain black panel, back panel in. So again, reveal the tape. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Turn it over, and again just reveal all of the tape, quite simply. And down on the flat you want to attach the two pieces together, so just literally butt up the two pieces very simply, fold the flap over and seal, and that gives you all 6 panels. The next thing I do is fold up and attach the 2 base pieces. So fold those up very simply, and we start from one end and we attach the piece to the leg. We attach the next leg piece to the base, fold up the supporting bar, fold up the supporting bar on the other side, attaching our other leg, get that to the right height, bring our 2 pieces of our supporting bar together, and this just makes closing the box so much easier, and press that down. So you see the strength's already there. We turn our final leg in and we match up at that side, and we simply turn in our little tab, match them together at the top and run down to the side. And you see why as a box that's so much easier, because now you can get your hand in and make sure all of your tabs are nicely and strongly glued. So there is our base of our box, very simple. So for our lid we just need, as we said, 2 pieces cut, and there are 2 different ways to do the lid, so I'll show you both ways. So first of all, I've put a little bit of 6mm power tape down each little tab, and you want to fold those, and then you want to make each fold again in the lid. So we're folding down and round so that you're kind of creating that. And to make the lid go in, we simply fold along that curved fold line, along the curved fold line in, curved in, curved in, fold, curve in, curve in, and you'll see there it starts to pull together. We do the same with the second piece. So we're folding the line, the curve, and the side each time. Very, very simple, very easy, and the work's done by the die. So it's so, you know, it's not a complex box of many parts. We fold that in, there we go. So we have 2 of those, and again simply reveal all of the tape on the 2 sides and you attach these together. So tab to tab, turn it over, tab to tab, you can fold that completely flat, and there's your lid piece already done. So you want to make these folds, pinch them in, make them very definite, and you want to use something, a piece of ribbon. Now I'm using some 3mm organza ribbon. You can use any ribbon, string, twine, whatever you want to, and because the holes are die cut, not punched, they are chamfered and strengthened, so you don't have to worry about pulling through the holes. It will very simply go through and it won't hurt it. So whilst it's open, I'm going to thread all of the holes through, going from front to back or from the left to right. There's always one that's a little bit more difficult. If you struggle with this, you can use a bodkin. So we go through like that. You see that leaves it loose. We then take our base and we pop our lid on. And you'll notice the lid has been made to be approximately 2 millimeters wider than the base, so that it fits nicely and snugly. And all we simply do is take our tabs and pull them up, tucking each of these tabs in. That gives us that beautiful sort of like pinwheel flower top. And what I do to secure is tie a double knot. So take your thread through once, through a second time, and pull. That way it gives a fixed knot, and I can simply then tie that off. There we go. And you could cut that off if you don't want to notice it, or just cut yourself a beautiful bow. And then you can decorate your lantern box however you want. Your lid will stay solid and holds in shape because of the design, and because of the base bar, your box stays open and this little, almost like an elongated hexagon shape, which shows you very evidently, and when you send these or gift these, shows everyone where the front is. And then you can decorate it how you want to. I'll show you how the alternative way we can do the lid. So again, we just bring in 2 panels of this with the tape on the same. We make the base folds, but this time you're going to fold your tabs out. So we're folding our tabs out rather than in. They'll match either way, but it gives you just something a little bit different. And a lot of people, a lot of the angels when they're making this have found it easier to fold them out than to do the in. So we're just literally folding each one sort of outwards. And again, reveal the tape on both pieces and stick them together. Really simple. And here you have an option. So you can make it solid. And what you would do is put a little bit of glue or tape onto these tabs, and you would simply match the holes and glue them together. I'm going to use the thread again because I like that look, and it means that I can change it. So again, when I get some out of here, I've been using so much of this. Simple 3mm ribbon, and again you're going left to right. So threading through each of the holes, and I find this a lot easier when it's loose like this. So thread it through, really simple, going around each of them from one side to the next. And so don't worry if you're using string or twine or anything, the holes don't rip when you pull the ribbon because they've been die cut as opposed to punched or sort of electronic knife cut. So what that does is it forces the fibres together at the end, making it a lot tougher. It's like you've ring reinforced it. So again, we bring our box in, slide our lid on into place, and pull our tabs together again, making a double knot. So easier back to front, we go round once, we go in again and twice, and we pull until those all match, and again just knot it off to secure it. And that way, when I get the knot tied, we have this beautiful pinched together lid. So 2 different lids. And again, as I said, you can make the box any height you want to. In the next video, I'll be showing you how to make the box a little bit shorter.